My zero read is anything? Did I avoid that?
What's it count?
I'm not sure yet. I don't have a target on the screen right now.
I like this new tail. I take marker on
45 seconds.
Come on, it's new. Wait till the end of the season.
I did.
We can paint that poster white.
This is where his forehead is supposed to rest.
5:58. Okay.
It's like
the guy with the beard.
right knee 5, left knee 10, 9.
Bobby.
Yeah, we are definitely PG-13.
PG-13.
I wouldn't like to say
I think we lost 2 rating levels when they had no ladies at the table.
7 seconds.
Hold on. We may.
Right. Rudy's gonna be the sub.
Come on.
Oh, thumbs up, guys.
Probably will want to shut this down.
I say borderline porn. He breaks out his phone. Oh, good idea.
Phone's off.
The guy that's coming, he probably lost.
Oh,
Okay, that looks better.
you can just walk out and talk to him, yeah.
All right.
Any move you make, you can hear it.
Oops.
Play just like we played our mock game last.
Yes. Oh, it'll be over.
Yeah.
4-6, I call.
Whoever's when after showdown, I win this week another 5.
Where'd Mark go?
Oh, there you go.
Mark, go.
Oh,
I think Rudy was lost.
Oh, okay.
you can't say Marco though. Very quickly. Marco.
Okay.
Cool.
You want I should shut off the recording?
No, keep it going. Because I can always cut it later. 6 o'clock?
Well past 6 o'clock.
Is it?
6:01 actually,
Thank you, Father Time.
Dead money.
says the voice in your ear. I'd like to welcome everybody to pokeronair.com, chasethebracelet.com.
Okay. All right, I think I'm going to give Paul his bracelet while we have a couple minutes. Well, gentlemen, thank you for being part of Chase the Bracelet Season 4. I'm very excited to get this going. But before we do that, I want to say congratulations to Paul Moskowitz, who won Season 3 of Chase the Bracelet. And
Very nice. Wow.
let's see, I think I can
It only
actually...
cost them what?
Time. What time?
1,192 fold.
The official wearing of the first
1,192.
time for the bracelet for him.
Laying odds on the first hand of Moskowitz fold.
All right, congrats, Paul.
We need to get that down.
All right, since we're about ready to start, will you just deal Paul's hand into the muck until 7?
Players have been assigned to their seats already, and starting stack is 6,000 in chips. Blind start at 25.50, 18-minute blinds. And in the announcer booth, or in the commentator booth, we are joined by Paul Boston and Chris Ward.
The best when I came back in and it was underneath my chair.
Double click.
Oh, they're just
What do you
showing.
got there? So a gift from Christie's? Or?
Click and double.
Future Christie's.
There they are. Chris Ward in the
How's everybody doing?
the striped just out of jail
Chris
outfit.
Ward, the Season 1 champion.
Season 1 champion.
Oh yes, I'm sure we'll hear a lot about that.
I can see the program.
And Paul Boston on the right.
The Season 1 runner-up.
Absolutely.
The wound is still fresh.
Yeah, it always will be.
So we have one person that will be showing up late, and it is a substitute for Corey. Corey could not be with us tonight. And tonight our dealer is Train, and thank you very much, Train, for dealing. And I think we're ready. So let's shuffle up and deal and get started with Season 4, Chase the Bracelet. First act will be Seat 3, Paul Moskowitz.
Well, let's get this out of the way. What's your prediction for the winner this year?
For the winner,
Yeah.
I see Paul Moskowitz folding deep into the action. Deep into the money, probably. Paul's going to place probably again top 3. But my money, I think, goes on Bobby Miller.
Oh, yeah? I'm going to go with Mark.
With Mark. Uh-oh.
Yes!
He's my pick.
He takes it all.
Does anybody have their phone?
Suited Dan wins the first hand of the year.
Might be interfering with the video.
Tony, you want the phones out of the room?
It's affecting the wireless for some reason. So
Totally off, though, right?
yeah, I think so. Well, it's going to help if the wireless is off and.
I mean, my phone is powered up. Turn it off, Paul.
Just
All phones off.
the
Not even airplane mode. That doesn't count. This isn't U.S. Air.
If you can't adhere to the rules, go ahead and leave.
U.S. Air is airplane. Because it's until you're getting a Wi-Fi. Well, give them the phone number here. They can call me.
Typical way to start a poker tournament. Not seeing a lot of good hands come out yet. Second hand in.
What's this? Second hand, right?
Especially the first night, too. I think it'll be kind of slow.
I got one.
Even when they get some hands.
Bet.
325.
Marco with the open-ended straight. Max with top pair.
Max calls with top pair. 9 of spades on the turn gives Max set of 9. Trip 9s actually.
900 bet.
I was wrong. They are going to get some action going here. You say Max is not one
15 on
to
top.
slow play a hand, that's for sure.
Max raises 15 on top.
What is the starting stacks tonight, Tony?
Starting stack was 6,000 in chips.
1,000.
Marco looking at 5 possible outs.
You say if he makes this call, he's going to have almost half his stack in.
I think I'm gonna have to give this one.
Schooled by a young
Mark's
gun.
the play.
I wasn't.
You got schooled by a young gun.
Watch the tape.
And then we have an interesting start to Season 4.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, his fives are no good anymore.
Crafting big blind. A little faster next time.
He hasn't posted.
That's because he's counting. He's racing. He's counting Marco's chips. It's okay.
Count Marcos just is always fun.
So dealer button will be on Corey's spot, who will be played by,
Only thing
what's his
better
name?
is counting Rudy.
Rudy. Rudy will be joining us shortly. He's on his way.
Almost in the diamonds at that point. He's been squeezing them so tight.
We got a couple of aces here. Mark with a pair. I think we'll see Mark raise.
Going up, kids. 175 now.
Mark is not shy about raising just about any hand.
Call by Suited Dan.
And Dan's not shy about calling with just about any hand.
Suited cards.
Mark with the set. What's he going to do here? There's a straight draw and a flush
200.
draw. Yeah.
Bet of 200
I'd
and a
bet
fold.
Continuation bet for 200 chips.
Takes it down with the set.
Kind of an interesting call me bet there on the flop.
Action to be on Mark first.
Classic King 5. I don't. That's what I mean.
Newman with an ace-7. Looks like he's itching to play a hand.
Yeah, there's not much else going on here.
And when he gives it away.
About me or about you? About me.
175.
Max raises to
I think you'll see
175.
A lot of that out of Max this season. Very aggressive player.
Call by Mark Coachella.
I'm not halfway out there.
Well, almost.
Checks.
Let's go with 30%.
250.
Max flops second pair.
Threw him in the pot.
Bets causes Mark to fold.
Those are probably some of my chips. You know, but they keep getting watered down. Every time he puts more in, my portion of them are watered down.
First act will be Rob Newman.
Can the fans at home take the suspense of when Moskowitz will actually play the first hand?
I think it's a prop that's going on.
Oh my God, there's got to be.
How late in the tournament will Moskowitz actually commits non-blind money to a
I'm
prop?
telling you.
Oh wait, did we start?
If we played this on a
These are the practice
Saturday night,
hands.
Yeah, I heard Marco say practice hands. I just like.
if we played this on a Saturday night,
A lot of player
Moskowitz
chatter
folds
about
during the game. It could be. It
Paul.
could sweep the nation. Every time Paul Moskowitz folds.
Paul playing very tight over the course of every season we've had.
Yeah, like
Paul's been a player in all 3 seasons for us.
Moskowitz calls.
We're going to get some action here.
No. They passed out.
Raised to 150 by
Holy mackerel.
Paul Moskowitz actually came in
Miller.
this hand probably to condense the chatter or to calm the chatter a little bit.
suited Dan calls.
And with 2 callers,
And it looks like Mark Kutrafilla folded.
Call called to raise with the ace.
11 minutes, 7 seconds left in the blinds.
Bobby way out in front with his pocket queens.
275.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Dan take one off here, though. As aggressive as Bobby is.
Suited Dan calls. Paul Moskowitz folds.
Next top bet.
Dan doesn't like to fold.
Action's on Bob. $400 to the
400 for suited Dan to call.
Full penny.
I think he's going to let this one go. Yeah, he had to call that just to see if it was a C bet.
But moves to Ed Wigler. First act will be Marco Urbanik.
Alright, I only managed to lose 30% of my chips in the first round.
First round of dealing means.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're like breaking out for blind.
call.
Holy crap!
Oh, here we go. We got Queens versus Ace King again.
Bobby, yeah, but
Suited Dan's
Yeah,
got
Marco
fives
folded.
this time.
I bet them up, did they not?
No, they did. That's why
Interesting, the Ace King is again on the button.
it was great.
raise to 225.
Snap fold.
Suited Dan raised it to 225.
The guy who's not here.
Re-raise.
Ed Wigler re-raises.
575 now.
Re-raise with the Ace King.
We watched Dan commit some chips last time against Bobby, so
Suited
put him on
Dan
another
calls.
pair doesn't seem like he's thinking that.
Suited with the smooth call.
Okay, sir.
$800 special. Calls 8.
Insta
I'd
call.
like to see a raise from Dan there.
Every time I play, change the video.
Yeah, that's why I would have liked to see in the raise. Because I didn't get there now.
Dan checks.
1550.
He has to give this hand away.
And you can see by his facial expression that he knows he needs to fold. Yeah, he should have check raised on the flop there to find out where he was instead of smooth calling.
I beat my letter right now.
Oh, we didn't have that.
That was a good bet, Ed. Have to win it again now. You know, and something you get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
First act will be Paul Moskowitz.
Dan, if we combine our chips together, we might have a full starting stack.
At least I lost mine.
Oh. Just because I didn't show my queens doesn't mean.
Calls. Raise now. 225, guys.
Breeze with a jack.
Mark raises to 225.
Players should announce who raises.
That works. If you announce your raise, it'll help.
I call.
Suited hand calls 225.
Nah.
First skin down.
Check.
Suited Dan flops 2 pair.
350.
Raise. 775.
Mark raised to 350 and suited Dan raised to 775.
Is Bobby still in this hand?
No.
Right. It's showing up as he is.
Yeah, Bobby's.
Down.
There we go.
Heads up.
Yeah, Mark's going to give that away.
Button moves to Rob Newman. First act will be Bobby Miller.
Yeah, you probably.
I kill these cards as soon as you dealt on.
Sure.
Matter.
It should be okay.
But they got to read, so otherwise you could just deal them right there. I'll raise
Battle of the blinds.
250 total.
Small blind decides to raise
Raised to 250 by Marco.
against the very tight Paul Moskowitz.
Hey, that's 50 cents. That's 50 back of my 18 more of those, and I'm right back in.
Button now moves to Marco. First act will be the seat for Corey.
8 no kicker.
I think for the remainder of the season, we should kind of rate Paul's play based on the math. As long as he folds when he's getting a lower percentage, I think we can call him a good player.
Get out the pen and paper. There he is.
Hurry, don't open the door till he gets in line. It's wrong house. This is our book club.
Got a warm seat for you right here.
Battle of the blinds again.
One of them.
All right, we have Rudy is joining us at the table. Rudy is playing for Corey.
Bad seat there with Bobby on his left. Because Bobby knows how tight he is. He's going to bet into it.
How you doing, man?
Into it.
Good.
Works every time but the last one.
Well, yeah, but just doing it so often, it can build up enough to absorb the one that doesn't work.
Three big blinds there. Good deal.
All you gotta do is swipe your cards over.
As soon as I get done dealing, just make sure both the cards fit right on there.
For the home view.
Marco with pocket eights.
Ed with pocket fours.
Yeah, somewhere in that direction.
Mark with ace eight suited. I think we might get a little action going here. We'll see.
175 now.
Ed Wergler races to 175.
Yeah.
Call by Mark.
Pocket four is definitely ahead.
18-minute blind.
Call.
6,000.
However, with this many callers, the fours don't seem too strong. And not now.
Crazy shuffle in the deck.
First act, Ed Wergler, who checks.
Come on, I gotta keep some. Kings.
900.
Guaranteed
That's
it.
9.
I mean,
That
yeah,
should take it down.
That's the thing. They're like, his beard was like pulsating out. Because he knew he had a big chin. Kings, look at the king.
Everybody folds to Marco.
It was the birds started chirping real loud.
I thought he was tweeting.
My phone's at the table. Stop tweeting.
First act will be suited Dan this hand.
Already had one flop of 3 9 on it. The rest of them had 2 9 on it.
So we've had 3 flops of 2 9s, 1 flop of 3 9s.
That's right.
1 minute, 20 seconds left in the blinds. Blinds are still 25.50.
Craft decision.
Run your table, sir. Run your table. Right?
That's a binding.
Suited Dan with sevens under the gun. See if he calls or raises it here.
He's going to raise.
Raise 175.
175 is what?
I thought you might get a call out of Mark here.
You definitely push away the weaker hands when you raise with your medium pairs.
Oh, yeah.
175. 125 now.
Take a walk, Max. Take a walk. You don't want none of this, son.
Max,
You can school
Max
him, but
is
you
a
can't
defender.
school me, sir.
Max calls from the big blind.
Young guns.
Puts him in bad position to make this call, though.
First act will be
Where
Max.
can I get out of here?
That's a pretty good flop for suited Dan.
250 bet, and Max folds to suited Dan's bet.
You can take his shit. You always give me one big pot. I'm a quad. I'm gonna do it again. Then I don't care if I have the card that would make the quad. I'm still holding it in the hand. Oh, the blinds up. Oh, the blinds are up.
Blinds are up, guys, right now. I didn't hear anything.
I don't think it's set.
We're good. 50-100.
51 now.
We're all gentlemen here.
My test worked.
This time Bobby with the sevens. We'll see how differently the playing styles
That's silent right now.
allow sevens.
300. Raise to 3.
Marco raised with the queen 9.
Queen 9 suited.
Oh, we right now.
The straight flush outs are definitely dead. Dan with the jack of spades, Corey with the 8 of spades.
I can't let go of them chips.
Great. Yes. Hump that. Name them.
Let's see. Definitely going to get some action from Bobby, maybe from Max. No, Max folded
Suited Dan calls also.
with the jack 5.
Motown.
He better hope he doesn't hit his flush.
What a flop for Dan.
And suited Dan flops.
Checks around to Bobby.
Bobby with the medium pair.
Bobby puts a bet out. 450 bet.
I'd like to see Dan just call here.
16 now.
Raised to 1600 by suited Dan.
As aggressive as Bobby is, he might have been able to get another bet out of him.
Bobby lays it down.
Sometimes when you get a real aggressive player, you just need to check to him and just keep letting them bet.
Well, the downside for Bobby is Dan plays that hand out of the big blind.
Yeah.
Button is on max, so Mark to act first.
Represent with a king on the board.
Crafty. Chip.
V2.
Number 5. Thank you.
I prefer to call suited. Prefer to call suited.
Suited Dan with the ace queen.
Max
with an ace jack.
Suited Dan again in the worst position. Max having the
Calls
ball.
100. Out.
Marco calls 100.
Out.
Who's got to take him home again tonight?
Going up.
Raised to 325 by max.
Well, no Dan will be calling.
Instantly called by suited Dan. Ed folds.
I don't know Marco very well, but
Marco calls.
I'm thinking he's going to call with just
Very
about
pot
any
committed.
suited ace.
He seems very likely to play aces.
And he flopped the nut flush draw.
475. Call. Call 475.
Max
See
with the
what he
bet
does
and a
with
call.
it here.
Suited Dan calls.
He smooth
Marco calls.
I'd like to raise there.
Absolutely.
Another 10 hits the board.
Check, check.
Now Dan's ace queen looks so much better.
Check.
5 of hearts on the
The
river.
ace queen is the best hand.
Marco absolutely misses a bet.
Yeah,
Makes a bet to try and steal it.
16 now.
that might be a big enough bet to steal it.
Max folds.
Robbery.
And
Suited Dan folds.
Suited Dan folds.
Marco throws out ace 7 of spades and says that he was on a draw.
Nobody else wanted a pot.
Sometimes you absolutely have to bet to take pot.
No, that's why you were kicking me like crazy.
13 minutes, 43 seconds left in the blinds.
It'd be great to have the hand every
oh,
time.
you can't win. You can't win without
Tell me, I never.
bluffing every now and then.
Of course you can.
Well,
Look at our season 3 champion. That man never bluffs.
well, all right. I shouldn't say never, but very seldom.
You gotta pay if you want to.
I paid.
No, you stole. I was the winner.
Actually, on Robert, who folds.
I actually admire Paul's solid play. Except sometimes he seems to, in these shorter games, play way too tight. Waits way too long before he enters pot.
Max calls.
I've seen him just about blind himself out completely, and then when he does get a hand, he can't protect it.
But there is the saying, a chip in a chair, so
Right.
it comes along. Comes a long way.
He knows how to play it. That's for sure.
Check, check.
With an ace jack, Mark flops top 2
All
pairs
players check.
and checks it.
4 of clubs.
And Mark's gonna
Just
lose.
checked
a big
himself
pot
into
here.
trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Ed with the bet. Great position for Ed to bet.
Raise to 6 now.
It's gonna get ugly here. Mark may be the first one out here.
Ed bet 300. Mark raised to
And
600,
smooth calls
and
with a
then
set.
Ed calls the 600.
An ace or a jack here would absolutely.
Ed
Ed
checks.
checks. Hoping to get Mark to bet. See what happens.
Mark's gonna bet with top 2.
1,000.
Mark bets 1,000.
Ed has to be confident with a set of 4s.
Just called.
Just calls, yeah.
Set of 4s.
I think you lose us some money there.
2 pair for Mark.
Mark got real lucky there because I don't see him folding if he raises.
You can get lucky. Hit sets all night long. Kings, fours, it doesn't matter what pocket pair he's got. He just hits sets.
Butt moves, and Marco is stacked first.
I think he lost the hand, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
You can see Bobby and Max look very committed to this game. Bobby always shuffling chips. Very, very committed to his game.
Oh, is there a straight out there?
Ugly one.
Okay, because I'm looking at the board saying, why didn't you re-raise? But I didn't see the straight.
Suited Dan with pocket sixes. Marco with a king queen. Bobby with a suited jack king.
Marco calls 100.
Going up to 370, 350 to putt.
I'm going to say Bobby's definitely going to be raising that kind of hand.
And he
Suited
should
Dan
get
looks
two
like he's calling.
Suited Dan is not afraid to tangle with Bobby.
In fact, he enjoys it.
Folds over to Newman. Folds.
250 month.
Marco calls.
Right?
Looks like we have 3 players.
First one.
Beautiful flop for Bobby.
Get 100 up for small one.
Bobby bets 325.
Surprised at that.
325.
Flops the nut flush and leads out.
With his aggressive play here, he could have anything though.
Yeah.
Suited Dan folds.
But he
Marco
definitely
folds.
pushes everybody out of the hand way too early.
9 minutes,
You flop
42
that
seconds.
big, you want somebody to catch up a little bit to get something.
If anybody plays aces there, they come back over the top of you, so
Right.
you're not gonna be behind in that hand with a nut flush.
Ace nine.
Or a king 9 with like 10 spades.
Nine, here, ace nine. Nine spades.
You know, because they're playing every
Action
night.
on Moskowitz stacked first.
You don't play on that spade.
Not much going on here. Anybody wants to put in a raise should take it down.
Folds over to Newman. Calls the 100.
Newman hasn't been in a lot of pots today.
I didn't even know he was here.
It's surprising when you can't hear him.
He must not.
175 bet by Rob Newman.
Rob Newman bets out.
Marco calls.
Call.
Are ready with the king?
Nice form, Rob.
Well, there Newman woke up with third pair and had to get involved.
You see that ball? That's how you win it.
Bobby Miller to act first.
Is Paul play game?
Rudy, Paul came out the show. Paul here. Remember I told you guys at Jeff's house one time that I was doing this.
A lot of people just don't listen to what you say.
I was going to say, you know the trick. I was listening to what you were going to say.
They probably thought I was a kid. I was lucky. When my kid was old enough, I brought him in.
Yeah, we got an ace 10 and a pair of fives here. Marco's got the fives. He'll definitely be playing.
Rudy folds.
And I'm betting Max will be raising ace 10.
Max raises to 300.
Ed with a 4-5 suited. Very playable hand in this situation.
Especially with position. It's the kind of hand I love
Marco
to see a
calls
flop
300.
It's a revenge call. Check.
Bet of 525 by Max.
That's all.
Marco calls.
Check.
Both players check.
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 Got a pair.
Marco checking all the way down there. I think Max should try and take a bet at the river.
Wow! What?
Hey,
Let me roll that.
I'm not sure.
High hand for Marco.
Marco, I'm pretty sure he's calling just
What?
unless it's really big bet.
This isn't high
He's got a propensity to call pretty light.
You got to get?
Yeah, 12.
Call me when you got to.
Like I said, I don't know him that well, but
First act will be
it doesn't
Rudy.
seem like he's the kind that's
Playing
going to
for
fold
Corey
very
tonight.
often.
only small bunch of fishing ball.
But it was the only chance he had of winning the pot.
Well, certainly not you. Kettle black.
Just gonna be quiet.
Action on Newman.
Being a silent partner.
Folds.
See, I'd like to see Paul
I
raise
got
here.
money that Newman and Marco can make you ball by 9 o'clock.
Bobby checks his option.
Which end do you want? Oh, you didn't mean that way.
Oh!
200 bet by Paul Moskowitz.
Paul Moskowitz with
I'm
a minimum
gonna
bet
say
here.
Bobby's gonna
calls.
gonna call with second pair most of the time.
400 bet by Paul Moskowitz.
I think Bobby will let this go. Okay.
Bobby actually turns a flush draw here. Medium
Bobby
flush draw.
calls 400.
You're expecting a number? No, no.
600 bet by Moskowitz. Miller folds.
Hand number 1 of the year for Paul Moskowitz. We will count 65 more folds until we get another one.
Four minutes, 22 seconds left in the blinds. Blinds are 5,100.
I do admire, no matter how much crap Paul takes, he will not change from his philosophy.
Action on Max to start.
What do you say?
A lot of times you have to find what works for you
Oh,
and
absolutely.
just stick with it.
There could be people watching.
It's a game of attrition.
Oh, sorry, did I give anything away? No, we like it.
250 now, guys.
Mark raises to
I
250.
was just going to say, that's the kind of hand Mark likes to raise. He likes to build up a little bit of a pot in case he can flop big with that.
All folds from the Marco. Mark and Marco.
Look, it folds around.
Scared money on the table. Scared money.
If anyone gets a chance, you can follow us on Facebook. There's a link on chasethebracelet.com in the upper right-hand corner. We do like Facebook fans.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Yes. Might go down looking for him. That's where I'm going.
At chasethebracelet.com, you can see our player picks, our standings. You can even join our fan game.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, the fan game is going on behind the scenes right now.
All right, we got Max with eights
And we have an ace-jack
king.
for Marco.
and an ace-king suited for Bobby.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, we should get a pot going here.
Action on Marco.
Oh, please.
350 bet by Marco.
I'm expecting Bobby to 3-bet here.
No virus coming my way.
Call by Bobby Miller.
Just a call. See, now that brings Max into being able to call with eights.
Max calls for 350.
I don't know if he. I was interested to see if he'd call a 3-bet there. Uh-oh.
This is scary.
We're going to get a big pot brewing here.
This looks very bad for Marco.
Action on Marco.
Not afraid to bet it.
Marco bets 1,000.
Flops the trips and leads out.
Go over to Bobby Miller. 1,000's the bet.
It's a very small bet.
Raise to 2,800. by Bobby Miller.
There's only one hand he can really be scared of.
Max
Maybe
lets
two.
it go.
Queens and ace queen are the only two hands he can even be worried about. And with that few hands, you just got to go with it.
And with Bobby calling smooth,
All in by Marco.
All in call.
And an instant call.
Trouble.
What can I do? I'm stuck. Jack.
4 of diamonds and 5 of diamonds.
My diamond. I would.
With the 5 of diamonds on the river. We'll count up the chips. Fish on.
No casualty? Nope. 6. Not quite.
Marco still has a good amount of chips left.
Nice.
It's like about.
He won that big pot when he bluffed with the ace-7.
Diamond flush draw. Oh, yeah. 2 aces out there. No one.
Very scary when an aggressive player like Bobby gets a big stack of chips to start.
Marco has about 1,600 left.
Be interesting to see how he plays the rest of his game.
I'm expecting him to start using it like a sledgehammer pretty soon.
Dealer button is on Rudy, which means that Ed Wigler is to act first.
Max.
Those of us at home, you can see PJ adjusting the thermostat. Hi, PJ.
Look at, we got 2 ace kings and an ace jack in this. Well, Marco's going to probably get it all in now that he's short stacked.
Ace King is a 1% in this situation.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Multiple aces and kings out there.
Little blinds jids just go up to 75, 150.
225 call.
Marco calls 225.
Call.
Last hand at 5,100.
Paul actually very strong with his 10 jack here.
A huge favorite pre-flop. Really surprised Marco didn't ship it there.
Ed with a bet.
I'd like to see a call from Paul. He's got 2 overs and a gut shot.
And mathematically, he makes the right. Oh, no. Slightly behind here against 1 ace king.
Ed checks. Moskowitz bet 600.
What is going on?
When the turtle comes out of his shell. Oh.
I'll tell you what, that's a hard call when Moskowitz makes a bet when you're just looking at ace king. No pair, no draw. Yeah.
He gives it away.
Moskowitz takes down the pot.
I've played with Paul several times in the last few weeks, and he's really loosened up a lot.
Button is on suited Dan. Rob Newman to act first.
Backwards.
Oh, did I miss it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, button is on Max. So Mark Cucciarello to act first.
Look at here, Paul waking up with jacks.
You got it, Bob?
It,
Here.
it's not attached. You can lift it up.
Careful.
Done for that exact reason.
Good job.
I think we'll see Paul raise here.
150.
Blinds are 75, 150. Moskowitz raises to 400.
Ed
calls 400.
I'll defend a blind with that.
And Ed definitely doesn't want to let Paul take 2 hands in a row from him.
Ed checks.
Ed flop bottom pair.
600 bet by Moskowitz.
See if it's enough to keep him in.
Ed calls 600.
See if Paul will bet again. A lot of times he'll get a little gun shy here with that king out there. In the old days, anyway. Looks like he's going to bet.
This might be a new Paul Moskowitz.
I'm telling you.
1,000 bet by
I've been
Moskowitz.
amazed at some of the stuff I've seen him play in the last few weeks.
Ed's got 5 outs here. See if he calls away 1,000 chips.
Ed raises to 2,500.
That might take it.
$13 minutes, 30 seconds left in the blinds.
Usually when Paul takes this long, he folds.
15 1? Yes, sir.
The question was that raise. Show your table deal.
Yeah, Paul's not calling. See it?
Aw.
Paul lets it go.
Shows the 7.
Yes, he does.
Almost every time when he tanks that long, it's a fold.
See about 12 minutes left in this blind. 12 or
Correct.
13.
12 minutes, 45 seconds. We have 4 blind levels, and then we take a 10-minute break.
We just think you can't read it.
75.
So now button moves over to suited Dan, so Rob Newman to act first.
And Paul's got aces this hand.
3 hands in a row for Paul to play.
I need to get it my way.
5. Raising 5 now.
Newman raises to 500.
Rob Newman with pocket 3s.
$1,000 now.
Moskowitz raises to 1,000.
That ought to fold all the way around to Rob.
Rob's the type of player that will absolutely not believe that Paul can have a hand 3 in a row.
Rob Newman folds.
Oh. I'm the type of announcer that gets things wrong.
Moskowitz shows pocket aces.
Because that would have killed it a lot more than the 3. I hit 2 cards.
Action to be on Marco first.
Look at you, right on the circle. Wow, 6 or 7 inches away.
Rob Newman again with a pocket pair.
It's been a long season.
It is.
Long 12 weeks.
Long 12 weeks. Raise. 350 now.
Did Suited make that call? Yes, he did. And I know Rob's not folding.
Newman checks. Everybody checks.
Suited Dan with the open end and straight draw now.
Bobby Miller, 475. Bet.
Probably bets out in the right place here. If an 8 comes on the river, there's going to be a lot of action between the other two players.
Call by suited Dan.
Bobby definitely wants to take the pot in this situation.
Dan Cochran.
I missed.
Missed.
Players check it down. Newman takes it down with a pair of 8s.
I wish you would have did that. Oh yeah, you lost your chips.
Button on Mark. Paul Moskowitz to act first.
We'll get away with the 175 line. I love it.
Not a whole lot going on here.
Suited Dan calls 150. Newman calls 150.
Suited Dan just can never, ever
All in by
fold
Marco.
Suited cards.
Absolutely knew that was coming.
Some of that, but I figured you
But how much does Marco have there, Timmy?
1100 all in.
big lit. I figured Danny's probably gonna shove and crapping in there. I figured, yeah, he'll call and I'll be kind of place and it'll be worth the money.
But I get a free look. Only 2 of them.
Button on Newman, so Bobby Miller to act first.
Now it's got 2 more rounds. Now you're short.
Now you're
Come on! I'm sorry. Oh, great, there goes our handicap line.
Max with the suited A's. Ed with King Queen
Who have we
suited.
offended? Asians?
The 3
We have ambitious.
Don't offend him.
Action on Ed.
425 now.
Yeah, like, you know what, we picked up a whole new demographic.
That should be enough to take it down right there.
You wonder with Marco's chip stack if he tries to steal this pot with an all-in.
Watching poker.
Everybody folds. Thanks.
Keep looking at me. Turns me on.
He's not wearing pants, folks.
Just wondering why
Action on Rudy to act first.
You're doing fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your effort.
You're alright. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bob. Teach me something later. 150 to go. Calls. 5 straight now.
Raised to 500 by suited Dan.
Not afraid to raise with a weak ace.
Yeah. That's how you go.
Newman folds. Marco folds. Moskowitz folds.
Thank you, Governor, for the LC.
Miller folds.
Max calls, 'cause he's won some crazy
Max calls.
Gonna shut it down now? You scared? Nervous? What are you gonna do now?
No, he's not too scared now. I don't like like that lead out.
1,050 is the bet.
Batty might be scared of the club draw. Suited Dan going in the tank here. Max might have missed a check raise there. Dan might have bet out there.
Button moves, Max stacks first.
Well, we might see Marco all in again here.
Clock. Hurry, it's on you.
With Moskowitz on the blind, he should make the call with pocket fives.
Dealer.
Raise 5.
Any quarters for this?
About to go.
Go on my hamstring.
Rob Newman raised to 500.
Moskowitz calls 500.
We haven't seen a lot of action with Bobby.
Rudy
He hasn't
calls
got a lot of
500.
good hands to play after that big win.
$700 bet by Rudy.
There comes Rudy.
Action on Moskowitz. Folds.
I knew he'd play a hand here eventually. He's fairly aggressive player too.
You wouldn't know it by watching him.
Well,
He doesn't have anything to play.
well,
quite
anything
yet.
to play, and I think that not knowing several of these people might slow him down a little bit to get the feel of them.
First act will be suited Dan.
He'll move some chips, I'll tell you that.
Clock.
I figured all came in like king 10.
Clock.
How much time do we have?
Clock.
A minute.
30 seconds?
Max with an ace queen and not too much else going on here.
Marco with a 7-10.
Well, he just folded ace 9 suited. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of aggression today.
Action over to Bobby.
Bobby on the button with an ace. He's
Raised to
absolutely
350.
Going to raise 100% of the time.
Max calls 350.
And knowing that, I would re-raise ace queen.
Looks like a minute or so left in this blind.
Minute 31.
Next check.
Next checks his ace queen.
Bobby's going to see bet here most of the time.
Bobby bets 500. Call by Max.
Barely see it when the line's going down. Yeah, everyone's just looking around like,
Let's see if Bobby...
Both players check.
Yeah, I thought Bobby might give up there.
Tony.
1,000 bet by Max.
Interesting bet there.
52 seconds left in the blinds.
He definitely doesn't put Bobby on anything connecting to that void.
No, I think it's after this one.
posted.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain when Bobby checked the turn that he thought he had the best hand there.
18 minutes.
So tired of you already. I was in here for 2 hours.
You love me, Trina, you know it. I can't.
First act will be Ed Wigler.
Sorry about it.
Ed with pocket 10, suited Dan with 9s, Bobby with ace king. Think we're going to see a little action.
Raised to 325.
I have to play train noises all the time.
Ed with the raise.
I think Bobby might repop it here.
Action on Bobby Miller.
Yes. 800 now.
Raised to 800.
How much does Suited Dan have back?
3,000. Call by
So
Suited Dan.
calls just about a third of his
Yeah,
stack,
third of his stack.
with a player left behind him.
Edward Wheeler calls. First stack, Suited Dan.
This is what the 9s and 10s are definitely afraid of. Two big cards on the flop.
Action on Bobby Miller. 1,200 bet.
That's why I hate just smoothing with 9s.
Bobby takes it down.
Stop giving me pairs, Shane. Stop giving me pairs.
Keep giving these putting aces and queens out there. I'll be happy. Quicker you're gonna get the happier. How's that make you feel?
First stack is Mark.
Did last week. 100, 200 was the line.
Suited Dan with pocket 10s now.
Marco with ace 10. Mark with 5-7 suited. This is the kind of hand he... I think if he had more chips, he might have raised one there.
Well, how do you do this?
How's he?
I'd like to see Max come in and make a play on the button with a 7 deuce. Definitely shows aggression. But I think he's going to get a player
Raised
ahead
to
of him.
400 by Bobby Miller. All in, Suited Dan.
All in. Good luck, Dan Crap.
22.50 or something like that. 23.50.
Bobby figuring out if he's got the right price to call here. And I don't think he does.
Bobby lets it go.
I can give it to him. That's all you did for me. $400 was like a sixth of my stack. I know.
Bob Newman to act first.
King Jack out here, Bob. King Jack? I wish. What's that?
That's for Paul Boston.
Not a whole lot going on here. I think any raise might take it.
Rudy announces a raise.
There's.
675.
I knew he wouldn't wait for cards all night.
There comes a point in time where you definitely have
No.
to steal blinds. And in such a short structure like this, stealing blinds becomes a big part of this game.
You absolutely cannot just sit there and wait all the time. You gotta make your own luck.
Button moves over to Ed. Marco to act first.
Pretty quiet, actually.
What are you doing back there?
Dan seems to be choking on his tongue there. Putting too much thought into it. 2 ace kings and an ace jack on this board. Bobby Miller, the aggressor again.
5 now.
Bobby Miller raised to 500.
You don't know what you're
I
saying.
think Ed'll definitely raise with ace king suited.
Can't be any worse. That was true.
Ed raises to 1,500. 13 minutes, 20 seconds left in blind.
And this is where you're in a hard spot when you're the third one in the pot.
Marco is all in.
And re-raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Marco is not all in.
Yeah.
Looks like Robert and Bobby both make the call.
I saw a huge stack go out there, and it was
Good luck, Marco.
Yeah, I wish. Do I need a force for this now?
Robert checked
Depends
in
on
the
how
dark,
you do it.
giving
If the
Bobby the
fourth ace
first
hits
action.
here,
Bobby checks.
and Ed flops the joint
Bobby, you check.
with Bobby flopping top pair.
Yeah, exactly. First time
See how Ed plays
We
this.
have a dealer. He's controlling the action. Got a bracelet, think your boss now?
Raised to 2,500 by Ed Wiggler.
Why would I just don't understand that?
There's a lot of I want the pot now tonight.
Yeah, but there's nothing there that should scare you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and Bobby's got a full. Yeah, he's got a full ace jack there with that huge.
With a 3-heart flop, it's very easy to give away those jacks,
Yeah, it just,
especially with a raise ahead of you pre-flop.
yeah. Somebody that raised.
He re-raised you actually, so it's very easy to get away from that jack there for
Oh,
Bobby.
yeah.
However, if Ed just checks there, it gives Bobby room to bet with top pair.
That's what you're wanting when you flop that big a hand, though.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't understand the.
I think I get about 3 minutes of silence now.
I think a lot of people tonight are just trying to take the pots down when they can.
You're losing so much value by doing it, though.
See how Paul plays his 8.
Paul calls 200.
Just a call with the eights. I don't mind that every now and then, mixing it up with them pairs.
Or if you get in with a big hand against, like Ace King or Ace Queen, and the
Cutrafella
flop
calls.
does come Ace King 8.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're up against Ace King, you definitely have a lot of money invested.
5 players to the flop.
Beautiful flop for Paul.
Let's see if he'll check it here. Nice check, Paul. See if somebody can catch up.
It's never a bad idea when you flop
Mark
a good
bets
hand
500.
like that to let somebody else hang
What
themselves
is Mark?
first.
Mark's not. We don't have his hand.
Mark, yep.
Your hand is muffled.
Oh, Mark with a 9-10.
Oh, Mark flop trips. Oh my. Paul needs to just call here.
How many players are in? 2?
2 players.
Paul Smooth calls the 500.
Oh, that's a beautiful call. See, this is what we were just talking about.
Action on Moskowitz, he checks.
Paul checks the full house again. Giving Mark room to bet his 10.
Knowing how tight Paul is, Mark may not bet here.
Mark
Yeah.
checks.
Ace on the river.
That made the flush too.
No help to Mark though.
Well, but that
Paul moves all in.
I can see Mark letting this go now
Good luck, Mark.
because the flush got there.
What do you think? Good luck, Mark.
How much does Mark have back?
23.75.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
23.75.
Jinx.
This would be a tremendous fold if he makes it. He's capable of doing it.
Call.
Makes the
Calls
call.
it.
Paul with 8's full takes it down. Our first victim of the year.
And my pick for the season
Your
goes
pick
out
for the
first,
season goes
week
out.
1.
We see how this is going to play out.
Thanks, sir.
8 minutes, 50 seconds left in the blinds. First casualty of season 4.
Have Mark stop by here and get his exit interview.
Oh,
Mark, stop by the office. Okay. Please, thanks.
the principal wants to see you.
And loosen your belt.
First act will be Bobby Miller.
I have a seat change next to the other place.
You got a 10. That's all. Raise to 5.
Bobby Miller raises 500.
Mop, mop.
Anybody?
No, sir. 500.
Mr. Miller.
I like Bobby. Dan Cockton. How does it feel about that?
Well, Mark, how's it feel to be the first one out? First night of season 4?
After Ed got me when he turned that set of 4s on me when I had flop top 2 pair, then I was just holding on. And
We were amazed in here that he didn't check raise you all in there.
we were both thought 2-3 was in play since we were in the blinds, and then with Moskowitz, I thought maybe he was with his tight image. I thought he might have missed a straight there. At that point, with how many chips I had,
Well, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
You pretty much had to call. I thought you might make the fold, but thanks for ruining my pick for the season. Beforehand, we picked who we thought we'd win, and
how many more weeks we got?
11 more weeks. You can still redeem me.
Okay.
Long way to go.
I didn't.
Moskowitz calls.
Paul himself lost a few before he came in.
One loosey goosey and one tighty tighty.
Plenty of them left.
I was still stunned by the hand with Ed, for a while. That really shook me up.
350 bet.
Yeah.
350 bet by Bobby Miller.
But this was really interesting, and
I got no.
the setup is phenomenal.
It's a nice setup.
That was good.
Now, when you flopped your 310s, what were you thinking?
Well, it's hard to, there's so many middle cards people could be playing there. Queen Jack, some could have Jack 10 there. I knew I had to bet there with draws out there, 2 spades. I was hoping he was just representing a spade. He missed the spade flush. I know he flopped a monster.
Well, the flush got there on the river.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's why I even said that you might be able to get away from it there.
Action on Max first.
But
Who folds?
what the little bit you had left,
It's very hard not to commit chips.
Everyone's looking at me.
You definitely want to take that pot down, with such a small stack.
I looked up and the whole table just.
I was mad at myself for not betting the turn, but I guess it didn't matter there because he already had the boat.
right, he flopped it. Yeah.
He played it wrong.
It was surprising to see a lot of players tonight are just trying to take the pot when they're there for them. And Paul definitely played this very slow and checked it on the fly.
There's been several
Rudy takes it down.
People have flopped the nuts.
Oh, really?
Let out.
Okay.
With the nuts. I mean, if you go back and watch
Yeah,
it.
I will.
Right before your hand, we were talking about how surprising it was and how much more value you get by slow playing.
Suited Dan back first.
I'm real interested to see the hand with Ed and Crafton early on. When Crafton folded the queens, because Ed was representing a
He hit the king. He hit ace king.
So Crafton made a good fold there.
4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the blinds.
Even say it.
What's the guy in seat 1? What's his name? Was that?
Someone is Rob Newman.
Yeah, I heard he was a more aggressive player, but he must be hitting some pretty junk hands. But he hasn't played many times.
He has not had the whole lot tonight, and he usually is fairly aggressive.
Raised to 500 by Suited Dan and a call by Rob Newman.
Absolutely.
If diamond comes, this kind of puts suited in.
1375 all in.
Marco all in for 1,375.
Marco was also with his ace king.
Call by Suited Dan.
Suited Dan with
Call by Rob Newman.
3 fold Corey's cards, please.
Fold Corey's cards, please.
What?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Marco moved on.
Marco's all in.
Marco is all in. First act will be Suited Dan.
Chris, I need you to speak in the microphone.
Terry.
Marco in the lead with an ace king.
Much better.
Terry.
And Suited Dan gets there with his nuts straight.
All in for Suited Dan.
Suited Dan with the hope that Rob Newman catches something to make a little bit more money on this. Unfortunately, this is going to take Marco out.
He already
Alright,
pushed his
suited
cards
Dan
up.
loving it that they got there with the jack. Oh, thanks, Mark. I know you will.
Marco out in 8th place.
They're falling fast now, folks.
2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the blinds.
Corn. Well, I just calling in for the shits and giggles. I mean, I got lucky.
I had 2 diamonds. And,
You know, and it wasn't even a week ago that Suited Dan told me that he was tightening up his game and wasn't playing near as many suited cards. I'm starting to think it didn't last.
Sometimes you just can't get away from the image.
Wow, that was delayed. Yummy. I like natural.
what?
675 raised total by Rudy.
Here he goes. I knew he wouldn't wait long. I told you he moved some chips. He doesn't need a hand.
Everybody folds.
What they say when that 9 rolled out there.
They did the Terry Tate. The main train is coming.
The train is coming.
Can we move the mic away from Suited Dan?
I think it's as far as it could go.
Oh.
That's what he said, right?
It's like talking to the microphone.
Doesn't exist.
You need us to count chips at the end.
Yes, please.
56 seconds left in the blind, and we'll be taking a 10-minute break.
10-minute break. Let's see if Bobby tries to take down this pot with King Queen.
I'll tell you what, this is where I usually like to try and win. Right before break, a lot of guys will fold hands.
Raised to 800 by Rob Newman.
Oh, Bobby lets his King Queen go.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I'll try and take down the hand right before break with a lot of different hands.
Ed lets it go.
We'll let you.
We'll get one more round in. 16 seconds left in the blind.
I tried to make it to the next level, but
Yeah, well, sometimes it's better to go out before break than
yeah, exactly.
Than have to come back from break.
and come back in with the short stack and bigger blinds.
So what was your downfall tonight?
Well, the ace jack suited against Bobby's ace king.
Yeah, well, that's right.
You know, I can't go anywhere
We're on break. Can we pause?
Yeah.
with that. I mean, ace jack is, not a great hand anyway, but once I'm in with 2 aces.
Well, yeah, you can't hardly put somebody else on another ace.
Right, and then I had ace king a couple hands after that. Maybe the next hand didn't hit anything. Had ace king at the end, so didn't hit it when I needed to.
I think Max called the
You were
200.
first out anyway.
This is true. I picked up a couple extra
Yeah.
points.
Oh, Max raised to 600.
Oh wow, they played another hand before break, huh?
Yep. Action is on Ed, who folds. It's like Newman calls 600. Newman will be first to act.
Keep it up all night playing that.